Hi guys, thank you for joining today's session. Today's session is Semantic Endpoint Security. Today's presenter will be Fred. If you have any other questions, you can drop an questions in the Q&A tab. So Fred will reply to you soon after this event is completed. Fred, over to you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I hope it's a morning wherever you are. My name is Fred Ndungu, and I do pre-sales for Semantic for Redington. And today I want to talk to you about Semantic endpoint security, and more specifically, advanced threat prevention for traditional endpoints and mobile devices. The agenda of the day will be Semantic endpoint security overview, the integrated cyber defense platform. Then the last agenda item will be the licensing. So before I talk about endpoint security complete, first of all, I'm sure that all of you are aware that Semantic was acquired by a company called Broadcom. This happened last year. And Broadcom has introduced some changes, especially with the Semantic products. So on Semantic Endpoint has been a leader over the past, I think, 2 decades in terms of endpoint security. But one of the challenges has been the licensing models. For example, for those who have worked with Semantic before, you used to sell what you call SEP, Semantic Endpoint Protection. That was for on-prem. If you're selling for, if you're just on antivirus for on-prem. If you wanted it for both on-prem and cloud, you used to sell Semantic, what you call SEP Cloud. Then if you wanted protection from mobile phones and tablets, you used to sell what you call SEP Mobile. Then if you have a customer who does not want a cloud, an on-prem console for SEP, we used to sell what we called SEP SBE, Small Business Edition. Then even under SEP, we used to have different flavors and different suits. So we used to have what we called advanced endpoint detection and complete endpoint detection. So the licensing model was a bit confusing. But now with Semantic, with the acquisition, we only have 3 suits. Either you do the SEP, or you do the Semantic Endpoint Security Complete, or Semantic Endpoint Security. So let me give you just an overview. With the new Semantic Endpoint Security, these are the what you have. You have endpoint protection, which is the Semantic Endpoint Protection, the normal one. You have the EDR, Endpoint Detection and Response. You have the threat hunting and analytics. You have application control and isolation. You have active directory defense and secure connection. For details about licensing, I'll cover them on the last slide. We'll talk about the licensing and how the different licensing models. So let me just skip this slide because I'll repeat it on the last slide, which will be about the licensing. So what is our approach when it comes to endpoint security and protecting the endpoints? Number one, we want to reduce the attack surface, which is we create policies in advance so that we can reduce the attack surface. Number two, we do attack prevention, whereby we detect attacks as early as possible across the attack chains. 3, we do breach detection. We all know that nowadays we cannot 100% protect from attacks. However, if an attack happens, we need to be fast enough to do the breach prevention, to detect the breach, do the breach prevention, and now do what you call detection and response. Whereby now, if we know that this, for example, machine X has been attacked, we check if other machines have been attacked in your network, and we are able to respond and return the machines to the previous state before the attack. And all this is powered by what we call GIN. GIN is Semantic's Global Intelligence Network, whereby it is the largest civilian intelligence network. In this sense, Semantic have sold over 175 million endpoint devices. Semantic also had acquired Blue Coat, which had 71% of all the proxies in the world. So with this intelligence whereby we have all these devices all over the world, if an attack happens, for example, let's say in Brazil, if there is a semantic endpoint there, it will share the intelligence with the global intelligence network. Then this intelligence will be shared all over the world with all devices that have all the endpoints that have semantic in the next updates. Also, Semantic have different researchers who do the researches, and after they identify threats, we share this intelligence with all our endpoints, all our semantic devices. The other advantage of this semantic endpoint, and the other changes is that with semantic endpoint security, now we do not need different licenses and different agents for your mobile phones, your workstations, and servers. So the same agent will be able to work on all those platforms. Also, the agent will be working on all operating systems, whether it's the Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, and so on. Then you have flexibility in the deployment. You can either, with SES, you can either deploy it on-prem, you can do it on cloud, or you can have the hybrid model. Then you have the unified visibility and manageability across all devices and corporate networks, even for roaming users. So you'll have the same platform for even your roaming, to manage your roaming users. So you can create your policies and push them from the cloud console to your remote users. Also in that console, we have what we call ICDX, Integrated Cybersecurity Platform, whereby now you can be able to integrate your endpoint, your DLP, your web security, and even third-party appliances on that same console. Okay. So Semantic Endpoint Security Complete, I told you, we focus on reducing the attack surface, attack prevention, breach prevention, and detection and response. How do we do that? In the reduction of attack surface, we do breach assessment, vulnerability remediation, device control. Device control is whereby you can choose which devices can be able to connect to your device. For example, you can block USB drives, you can block CDs from being used on your workstation and etc. Application control also, you are able to do application control and application isolation. Application control is whereby you can choose which applications run on your device. So you can whitelist only the whitelisted applications will be able to run on your devices. Application isolation is whereby we rate these applications in terms of risk. So if an application is a risky application, we do what we call application isolation, whereby this application will run on isolation in terms of it would be able to interact with other applications in your device. Whereby if this application, let's say, is vulnerable to an attack, the attack will only happen on that application and it will not affect your whole device or your whole PC. Then attack prevention is whereby now, for example, malware prevention, whereby you have your antiviruses with their signatures or doing heuristics. Exploit detection is whereby you do exploit protection and behavior-based protection usually work hand in hand, whereby we check the behavior of this user. If it is not normal behavior, we allow it. Or if, for example, an application is trying to do DDoS on your machine, we are able to protect against that. Then we have what we call smart VPN. So if you're, for example, you've moved with your laptop home, you're going at home or you're working from, for example, a cafe or over public Wi-Fi, Smart VPN will identify that you're working on a public Wi-Fi, and it will start tunneling all your traffic via VPN. Then you have what we call breach prevention, whereby, for example, you have deception. Deception is whereby on your machine, if there is a file that we suspect to be malicious, we do not let it run on the actual machine. It actually runs on the actual machine, but we isolate it again, like in a small sandbox-like environment inside your machine, whereby we now monitor that file If, for example, this file tries to disable your antivirus, it triggers an alert, and you're able to know that this is malicious, and we're blocking it. So think of it like a sandbox inside your machine. That's what deception is. Then we have what we call active directory defense. We have auto-managed policies and network firewall and intrusion prevention in this phase. Then we have detection and response, whereby we can be able to detect targeted attacks and do targeted attacks analytics. We can do behavioral forensics, whereby we check if, for example, a file is malicious, what has it affected? Has it changed any registry files? Has it altered other files around it, etc. So able to check forensic reports and forensic analytics. Then we can send these logs to an expert SOC investigator so that they can be able to help you. And we do threat hunting and rapid response. All of this is handled by one single agent, so you do not require multiple agents for that. Two, it is very flexible. Again, as I said, it works either on cloud or on prem, or you can have the hybrid model whereby you have a server on prem, which will talk to the cloud management. Then, as I said, this works also with the global intelligence networks. And later on, I'll talk about the integrated cyber defense, which allows us to integrate with not just semantic devices or semantic products, but also third-party products. So attacks usually come in 5 stages. You have the pre-attack phase where the attacker is trying to learn more about the environment. The incursion phase where the attacker now is trying to target different devices which he has identified on the pre-attack phase. Then the infection whereby he now actually gets into the machines which he had targeted. Then infestation is whereby now he tries to move around and get, like for example, lateral movement, trying to get credentials. Then exfiltration is whereby now he tries to get now the data which he was targeting in the first place. So Semantic have different solutions in the endpoint to assist you in all of these phases. For example, you have the breach assessment, whereby we check if there are any vulnerabilities on your endpoints and try to patch them up. Then you have the device control, whereby now as I explained earlier, we only allow specific devices to be able to communicate with your device, and also specifically, let's say, for example, block things like USB drives. Then you have application control, which I've talked about. All these whitelisted applications are allowed to run. The rest are restricted. We have what I said earlier, which is a secure smart VPN, whereby we check the connections. We have network firewall and intrusion prevention. We have reputation analysis. We do machine learning. We do emulation. We do memory exploitation and mitigation, behavior monitoring, deception, active directory security, and network firewall and intrusion prevention. So all the semantic endpoint security will not work in a silo. It will work with other products, semantic products. So it will work with your web and email proxies. It will work with your endpoint management systems. It will work with the data center protection. It will work with the DLP, CASB, and VIP. VIP means is a two-factor authentication solution. Then apart from these solutions which come from Semantic, we are able to work with third-party solutions, like if you have a ticketing system, if you have an orchestration and automation system, or if you have a SIEM solution. So our roadmap is continuing to innovate, whereby you have adaptive security, we do threat hunting, we do endpoint detection and remediation, and we have enhancements on our ICDX platform. Then we have more integrations with semantic products and even third-party products. So I was talking about ICD, the integrated cybersecurity defense platform. So this is what happens. This is something that you do not actually buy. It comes automatically when you have Semantic, any Semantic product. And this time you'll have manager on the cloud, because this is offered as a software as a service. It's a manager on cloud, whereby you will have integrations with all your different control points. So for your endpoint security, for your web security and network security, for your email security and cloud applications. Then we have integrations again with the advanced services, which are information protection, threat protection, identity management, compliance and enforcement, and third-party applications. So all of this integrate with the ICDX platform. Then you're able to integrate with other platforms and even third-party platforms. This one will help you to do the following. Number one, it gives you one platform that unifies the cloud, what is on the cloud and on-prem security. Number two, it gives you best of breed information and threat protection across endpoints, networks, emails, and cloud applications. Number three, it gives you a broad ecosystem that supports different third-party applications. And number four, you're able to share intelligence and management with, which is powered again with what I call GIN, which is the world's largest civilian threat intelligence network. So just to retaliate on ICDX, you have a single unified platform. So all your products, you can see all your products under a single pane of glass. And these products are able to communicate with each other, and you can see the logs they are being correlated on your single cloud platform. It is auto-managed, so you do not need to do different. You can do automated tasks inside your platform, ICDM platform. You can create also tasks, so you can create tasks before in workflows to simplify your work, so you don't need to do what is repetitive. So again, all of these devices, you can be able to integrate with your SOC capabilities, your data lakes and SIEMs, your SOC orchestrators, your threat intelligence, and then we give the platform on the platform, we'll be able to see what is happening on that single platform. So on ICDX, we have different what we call event forwarders. If you see any threats or anything that needs to be addressed, we forward these events to your different third-party tools. If you have a SIEM, let's say Splunk, QRadar, or ArcSight, we send that to it. If you have a SOAR, like service, let's say for example, you have a SOAR application, we're able to send so they can do the response. Let's say for example, if you have cyber spawns, if you have what anomaly or whatever SOAR application you have, we're able to integrate with it and share intelligence with it and the events with it. This is just a use case of how we are able to integrate with different devices. So, for example, if there is a ICDX has observed that there is a hash that needs to be, which is malicious, it will talk to these other devices and it will share that hash with all these devices so that you can be able to block it. Different now, I talked about our licensing model. So you can have a normal SEP, which is semantic endpoint protection, just the endpoint protection as its own. Then we can sell what you call SES. SES will come with endpoint protection, mobile threat defense, and secure connection, what I call smart VPN. Then, if you want more than that, you can purchase what you call semantic endpoint security complete, whereby you have your SES, which is semantic endpoint protection, with what I talked about earlier, then plus endpoint detection and response. You'll have threat hunting and analytics. You'll have application control and isolation, and active directory defense. So these are the features available for the different licensing options. So if you have SES for management, you can do management either on cloud, on-prem, or on hybrid. It works on different workstations, Windows, Mac, whatever you want. It works on different operating systems, mobile, whether it's iOS or Android. on your servers, either Windows or Linux. It has malware prevention, exploit prevention, etc. Then attack prevention. So the biggest differentiators is endpoint detection and response. That is only done on SCS Complete. Threat hunting services, that's only part of the endpoint security complete, and managed services. Those are, and also breach detection. Those only happen on SCS Complete. So I've covered everything. Unless you have any questions, I'll be happy to respond to your questions. With that, let me thank you for your time. Thank you for attending this meeting. Over to you, Harry.
Yeah. Thank you, Fred, for doing this wonderful presentation. Thank you guys for joining. We are having more session on Symantec, and we will be sending you the invite shortly so that you can, if you can join on this, that will be grateful. Thank you guys. Be safe. Bye.